I'm talking to Ryan Clayton, a student at Deakin University. Thank you very much for joining me, Ryan.
No worries.
I'm wondering, probably the best thing to do is maybe get you to say a little bit about yourself and what you're doing.
Yeah, sure. So I'm in my final year of doing media and communication at Deakin. Been here for a while, but I've been enjoying it. So it took me a little bit to get my feet planted and realise what I really wanted to do. And now I'm doing a lot of media and communication units and some PR as well. So that's what I found most interesting. As for myself, well, what can I tell you? I just play a bit of sport, do a little bit of powerlifting, and that's about it. Yeah.
Great, perfect. So we first met in 2013,
Probably,
I think
yeah.
the year would have been, when you did a unit called ALC 201, Exploring New Media User Settings Implications. You've remained active online and shown initiative and really displayed initiative in a number of ways. Can you tell us a little bit about that in terms
Sure.
of what platforms and what you've been doing?
As for what I've been doing, I've still big Facebook user, I think, as every uni student probably is, and Snapchat, Instagram, you name it. And I've been writing occasionally a blog. So my blog writing started up from one of another, I think it was a PR unit maybe, and I wrote a few stories about how we use social media in communication, and how we're interpreted online, and how important it is that you have this identity but not to abuse it, and how to create the perfect identity. As for social media, I've got a part-time job. I work at a go-kart place, kind of like you're sidetracked, but my job is to do the social media and marketing for them as well. So I've been doing things like creating a weekly plan of what they're going to post about and a monthly plan. So weeks 1 and 4 might be posting about their new special, or and weeks 2 and 3 might be promoting a certain element of the place, such as they've got like the most pinball machines in Victoria in one venue, things like that. So it's really important. I think it's been a really good learning activity, but at the same time, I picked a lot up, such as I interviewed Guy Kawasaki, who's a bigwig from Apple. He helps create the Macintosh, and I got pretty lucky to get 15 minutes of your time.
Can you tell us about how you did that? Because this brings that word initiative. This wasn't for an assignment.
Yeah.
This wasn't, and we're not encouraging everyone to just go spam Guy Kawasaki with emails here.
Yeah.
But you did something quite innovative in attracting his attention, but you also showed the initiative. This wasn't compulsory or mandatory in any way.
Yeah.
You just decided this is something, you had an idea, you wanted to make something, get something there, could have been portfolio piece and all that kind of thing. So, yeah.
Well, yeah, personally, I think it's really important that if you're doing something in university, you've got to enjoy it. And if you enjoy it enough that you want to do it in your own time, I think you're going to do the best at it as well. What I did with Guy was I sent him an email saying, "Hey Guy, my name's Ryan Clayton, I'm from Deakin University, I'm writing a blog, and I'd like to speak to you about some of your tactics for posting online. P.S. Here's a picture of you." His name's Guy Kawasaki, so I got a photo of a Kawasaki motorbike and just photoshopped his head all over it. So it was Guy Kawasaki as a Kawasaki. So it's just a crappy pun. But it was enough to get his attention, and if anyone ever watches any of Guy's videos or podcasts, you'll always hear him say, "I've got an automatic response unit on my emails," and he'll press one letter and he'll say, "Sorry, I'm really busy this week," but Guy had enough time and he said, "I loved your photo, it's hilarious, it's original, sure," and then we did a recording. So Guy has one of his favourite systems, which you probably see on BuzzFeed and like Washington Post, is they use the top 10 system. So he'll say his top 10 ways to write a good blog, and then that way when he's talking to you, you know you've only got 9 more points to listen to. I think it's a really good teaching method, and also a good way to get a point across as well. Especially for people that are only going to skim over it. They're going to be like, they'll read the heading and then they'll be like, "Oh, that's interesting, I'll jump to the subheading," or whatever else is written about it. So yeah, I was lucky enough to get some of his time on Skype. And one of the big things I learned from Guy is to be successful at writing blogs online, you need to be prepared yesterday. You need to have everything done the week before, the month before. You need to have topics and ideas within a month's advance. And that's the same approach you need, I think, to run successfully any sort of social media and marketing. I can't really talk much. I'm still at uni, but I think you need a strategy. And if you don't have that strategy, expect some pretty poor posts. And that's where you can kind of see the decline. and the poor terminology or the unattractive website or the pictures which don't match. So.
Or no pictures at all.
Or no pictures at all, that's right,
An unproofread sort
Yeah.
of, rant sort of thing in a blog. That's not going to engage anyone beyond line 2, is it? So you basically had an interview with a major figure in the area, which when you start uni and even when you're going through, it just doesn't feel like the kind of thing that you can do, does it?
No,
Because
no way.
you're not in the real world yet, but you are. The
Yep.
more online you are, the more active you are. You are currently in an internship, which is not a formal internship at Deakin because you've already done that, but you decided to go out and approach and make an application for a company. Can you tell us a little bit about what that internship is and who it's for and maybe what they do?
Sure. So my friend, she's worked in marketing for a few years now. She's worked over in the US and then she's worked for this company. She sent me a text message saying, "Hey, these guys are looking for interns. Would you be interested?" And I replied back within the hour saying, "Absolutely. Drop my name. I'll send you my email, my resume, and my blog." And so I sent those over and she passed them on to the boss, and then they said, "You've got an interview at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning in the city." So within 24 hours I was sitting in the Rialto Towers having an interview with the directing manager of this company, which is called Meltwater. So it was a real hit. I got really lucky with this. It was only they're taking on 3 people. And the first thing they said in the interview was, "We loved your blog. We thought it was hilarious." And there was 2 other people in the room who said, "Oh, what blog?" And then they opened it up and put it on the projector and they had to read through it, which was mildly embarrassing, but at the same time, it's kind of like, great, this is actually working. This has been a good tool to use. And I've always thought about putting blogs and things on LinkedIn, but I thought, I'm not really there yet. I'm not looking for a postgrad job just yet. I don't really know how effective it's going to be, but after doing a little experiment and just attaching it with my resume, it's definitely worked in my favour.
Great. Yeah. So you actually and I think you said you spoke about it. It was like 20, 25 minutes, probably
Yeah,
most of the interview.
absolutely,
was it?
yeah.
So having that, to use another term for a portfolio, of basically that's what you've got. You've got stuff that you could send them saying, "This is what I've made. This is what I've done." Have a look at. Not only, when you're in an interview, that half the time interviews are trying to figure out, can you talk to people, and are you sane?
That's it.
That's it, isn't it? And the work, the portfolio, is what they really want to see.
That's right.
As outside that, but the fact that it came into it's really interesting. So you had a good laugh, you had a good chat about it, and that really probably just as an icebreaker as much as anything.
It was definitely an icebreaker, and it was also a good way to show that I'm intrigued and interested in what they're doing. I got lucky enough, I wrote a blog post within 6 months about Boolean searching, which is an advanced search method you can use it on Google or any kind of search engine. And that's what this company does a lot of. They use a lot of Boolean to figure out like specific ideas about a company or what the company's been looked at through the media. And I wrote about, some of you guys might have heard of Bongo Knows or Jerry Knows, and it's this number you text in and you say, "Adam Brown, Deakin University, Melbourne," and then they run through Google, they do their own Boolean search, and within 3 minutes you'll get a paragraph saying,
likes his dog too much.
Pardon?
Likes
Yeah,
his dog
say something about Tiffany, and it'll say, "We saw Adam Brown walking Tiffany along Burwood Highway just out the front of Deakin." And you'll read that and go, "How the hell did you figure that out?" But from what I've read, this is how they do it, and this is what companies are doing. It's a real life thing. It's not just a bit of a joke. Using the company's program, we can look at certain factors about universities, such as how much broadcast time they're getting, how much internet time, what they're getting reported on in the papers, who's reporting the most information or negative stories or positive stories about the company. And then we can identify on a monthly, weekly, yearly, quarterly basis, whatever they specify, how they're performing, how they can do better. And we can actually interpret that data and relay it back to them in bite-sized pieces, so with pretty graphs and everything else. Yeah.
That's it, the visualization of data and all that kind of thing. That's what we need to simplify the complex array of information out there now.
Absolutely.
It's fantastic. To come back to a really key point, and probably what comes out of that interview experience that you had, in that people saw that you were passionate about something that was relevant to the company. I've asked the question at the end of the unit I taught last time and at the start of this current unit, can you really be engaged with the world now and not be engaged online? And you're probably increasingly finding that probably not. you need to be online and have a presence and be visible there, and people notice you.
That's right. Yeah, I think it's really important that you're connected with both. You need to have, if you're not present online, you're not going to be present in the real world. You need to have that connection, or else no one's gonna find you. You know, no one looks up in the yellow pages for people anymore. They just go online and put something into Google.
That gets recycled before it comes
That's
to
it.
the door now.
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah. It's just a key litter or whatever else.
Yeah,
So,
it is the real world. The two worlds are
That's
now
it.
one. Yeah,
Yeah.
fantastic. Well, look, thank you very much for sharing your thoughts and experiences, and
No worries.
good luck with the future endeavours.
thank you.
So, thanks for watching.